Marketing to brand new prospects who don't know anything about you and marketing to prospects who know something about you, well, it's not the same. What is the same is this. You can use the same content in lead generation as you do in lead nurturing, as long as your messaging and your marketing automation know the difference. Listen up. Now, they say that repetition is the most underutilized asset that a brand can have. So that is why I am showing you this chart again, because I want to talk about owned media and the importance of building your own owned media library. Why? Well, it creates a destination. When you have assets, when you have things you own on your website, things you own by your brand that people can download and access and register for, you create a destination for all of your content that exists outside your website. I like the notion of content that gives. As we know, a lot of companies worry about what they're giving away, who's going to steal my secret sauce. Once people hear about what we do here, they'll know all of our magic and they won't want to work with us. But content that gives is a way to generate trust and empathy and access to your prospect audience. It's also a way for you to exchange your high-value content for contact information so you can begin to nurture your prospects. It demonstrates your expertise. It provides a springboard for follow-up. If somebody downloads something, if somebody accesses a piece of your owned content, you now have something to talk about in the sales process. Of course, you can teach because you are the experts and the leaders in your space. And overall, it offers value and service to your prospects. So how do we do this? All of your content needs to answer the questions that you know your prospects have when they're making a buying decision for your product or service. We know that they also have objections to you taking action, to spending money. This is where you can address these objections in the content that you provide. And of course, share your brand's voice. So what does that mean? There are static pieces that you can have on your website, that you can have in your coffers that people can access, like this list here. And you can have more active pieces of content like surveys and live webinars where people actually have to take a more active role in engaging with your brand. So of course, all of your assets are going to fit somewhere along this journey. And what we've been trying to do all along is pick the place in the buyer journey where your best efforts are going to be spent. That's the kind of content you need to create. Let's look at this workflow for a moment. All of our content is going to hit the senses of a human being who is curious, who has needs, who has pain points that your product or service is going to resolve. And that's the only reason they're going to engage with you. And they can engage in any number of ways. Your teaching channel on YouTube, your website where your assets live, events, any number of things. And through that process, we drive them to those destinations and we give them an opportunity to give us contact information. We capture a lead. And when we capture a lead, we can then begin to nurture them along the buyer journey. We can give them all kinds of things that will get them more and more familiar with our brand and more familiar with our value. And how do we do this? We send them back to those things that we've created. All of those things in that stack, all of that is content. All of that is owned content. So even in the nurturing process, it's not just an email. It's an email that says, in case you haven't seen it, here's our free training. In case you haven't seen our new webinar, here it is on our website. In case you haven't registered for our next event, do it now. And the channels in which we deliver this content can vary across your channel strategy, whether it's paid or digital or social or your web-based calls to action. When you're talking about lead nurturing, you already know these people. They've already engaged with you in some way. So what are we going to do? We're going to instigate a relevant lead nurturing email series that connects with the thing that they did. So if they came to a webinar, the first email says, thanks for attending the webinar. Here's an opportunity to see a replay. By the way, here are other things you can learn and know about us. And at the end of that process, there's a slam dunk sales letter that captures all of the things we've told them along the way. But again, all of these emails are connecting to different kinds of events and different kinds of content that you have to offer. If this was helpful to you or your team, head over to the full marketing strategy training on our website. There, I'll review a roadmap that will help you and your team move off those random acts of marketing and help you build a strategy that can really drive measurable results. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you'll get more of the marketing love that we're going to send you each week.